Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering Nick Saban's decision to retire. The Commanders could trade up for Caleb Williams, a woman who lost an insurance claim after throwing a tree, and make sure that you stick around for later in the show when we'll be diving into the oddities of the day. Before we start, I'd like to ask that you guys like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from the viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show.
Look at my girl. You're just rolling it off again. You're used to the new link and everything. Only thing I was going to correct you on is when you said Nick Saban's decision to retire. Sounds like he just retired.
No,
as we
he's
know,
talking about
what's behind his decision to retire.
Behind the scenes of why he retired.
Yes, I agree. All right, so how are you doing? We were talking a little bit about Faith was in there working on her hair and pulling her ponytail up and checking out the bangs and all everything.
Yeah, my bangs, they are a little longer than when I wanted them, and so trying to style them is hard because when I like have a little roller that I put them in the morning. And actually my roller's right here because I was working on the computer and like took it out before we started the show. But like when I unroll them, the bangs are like right here in my eyes, and obviously I can't have hair in my eyes, so I'm gonna have to go back, I think, sometime soon to get them trimmed up shorter to the look that I wanted. But
the bangs I think the bangs are cool. They look good.
Thank you.
They wouldn't work for me or anything, but for you,
no, probably not.
They work, yeah. And then today it was a little chilly out this morning. I got here super early. And so I'm in this giant sweater, so it looks kind of weird.
I think Tate and I are ready for it to be Friday, honestly.
Yeah. No, I got to work I'm working this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, too.
Oh, well, I'm ready for it to be Friday.
That doesn't stop the Tate train, does it?
I mean, that's true, yeah.
I'm still going to put in a 14-hour day, even on Saturday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. The difference is I can just go right down the street to the beach, like on my lunch break.
Yeah, must be nice.
All right, so let's dive into all this craziness.
Alrighty, so Nick Saban makes a big admission about the decision to retire. Former Alabama coach Nick Saban has finally admitted what most already knew: the changing landscape of college athletics played a role in his decision to call it a career. Saban stunned the sports world when he announced his retirement days after Alabama lost to Michigan in the college football playoff earlier this winter. He has been openly critical of the impact of the new name, image, and likeness rules have had on college sports, but the 72-year-old insisted at the time that wasn't a significant factor in why he retired. We can now say certainly that it was a factor, even if it wasn't the factor. ESPN Chris Lowe published a story on Wednesday that provided an inside look at some of the things that led to Saban deciding the 2023 season would be his last. One that Saban mentioned was that he felt like his message was no longer resonating with players. He said he was really disappointed in the way Crimson Tide players acted after their 27-20 loss to Michigan. Saban said it became even more clear when he met with players back in Tuscaloosa that it was time for him to walk away. Saban commented, "I thought we could have a hell of a team next year, and then maybe 70 or 80% of the players would talk to. All they want to know is two things. What assurances do I have that I'm going to play because they're thinking about transferring, and how much are you going to pay me? Our program here always built on how much value we can create for your future and your personal development, academic success, and graduating and developing an NFL career on the field." So.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I knew this was an issue because it was so abrupt that out of nowhere he had decided to retire.
Very abrupt. Yeah.
But there were people that went on the record and was saying like, I just met with him,
Hmm.
and then 30 minutes later he was retiring.
Yeah.
And there was people like, oh, he had already scheduled meetings for this, and this, and this, and
Hmm.
then he retired.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like, to me, it felt like he sat down with a couple of players, and it was just kind of like, am I starting? How much cheddar am I getting?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And it didn't matter anymore. Growing, Nick Saban's been doing college football for decades,
Hmm.
and it was players didn't get paid. It was about, okay, how can we develop and get to the NFL,
Hmm.
or the pride of playing for Alabama. And players were like, listen, the game is over. We lost. I just want to know next year, am I starting, and how much more money am I getting?
Hmm.
If not, I'm transferring out. And I could see how a guy like Saban, who's been used to the system one way,
Hmm.
and then you come back, and this season it's been like, no one cares that we lost to Michigan. We want to know how much,
Yeah.
am I transferring out?
Yeah, I didn't really think about, because obviously when he retired, I was not working on the podcast at the time, so I didn't really know all the stuff about name, image, and likeness and everything like that. So I didn't really think about this being a factor. But I remember when the story was released that he was retiring, he didn't like necessarily comment onto why he was retiring. It was kind of, I don't know. He's
Yeah, it was just kind of like, I'm out. Thank
Yeah,
you. It's
there
been a
was no
great time.
explanation or anything. So now that this has come out, this makes a lot more sense as to why he retired, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it was a good time for him to retire.
Hmm.
Uh, this team, actually, it was kind of one of his best coaching jobs, in my opinion. This was not the greatest Alabama team, but he went through. They started out rough, weathered the storm, righted the ship, beat Georgia, stopped Georgia from three-peating, won the SEC, rolled into the college football playoffs. And, his last year is, yeah, listen, no, I didn't win a national championship, but I won the SEC and was this close from beating a national champion,
Hmm.
and I'm done. It's getting, you know, this is all the stuff we talk about name, image, and likeness, and this whole college football playoffs and all this stuff. The landscape has changed so much that it is just hard to keep track of things. Imagine, you know, you recruit a player and you got to worry all the way up to signing day. Is he really coming? Is he really coming? Is he really coming? Then he gets there, and it's kind of like, is he going to stay? Is he going to stay? Is he going to stay? Okay, now the season starts, and it's like, oh, okay, ooh. And
Yeah.
then imagine you just come off a heartbreaking loss, and as a coach, you're taking these losses hard, and you sit down with your best player, and it's like, man, we'll get him next year, and it's like, well, Georgia just offered me 1,000,000 too, and Texas offered me this, but and Michigan offered me 3.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm coming back, coach. What do you mean? You're with us.
Hmm.
No, are you gonna run the offense I want? Am I gonna be featured more in the offense? Are you gonna pay me more than what I got last year? That's a big change. This is the part, remember we were talking about one of the guys was hoping for the federal government to step in and kind of do something about this whole worrying about antitrust laws and making it, because right now you talk about changes. This is where some of those changes could come into play, because now instead of it being like it's the wild, wild west, like guys that agree to come, they're going to stay in school, they still have a chance to leave after spring ball. With the current with a new system where they need a commissioner that manages college football, so everyone has a salary cap. everyone gets a fair wage. But that fair wage is, hey, we're bringing you to Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Texas. You got a 4-year contract, or you got a 3-year contract. You're gonna play for Michigan. We're gonna pay you XYZ amount of dollars, and that's it. You're under contract. There's no, hey, I got you. Someone else offered me more money or things like that. Players are under contract, not, hey, midway through it, I'm already thinking about leaving. That stuff starts going around, then it's like, hey, you're in practice and you're like, dude, I'm out of here at the end of this year. At the end of the season, Texas just offered me this. What? Hey, can you talk to Texas too for me? Sure. And it's undermining the college football program. It's undermining what a coach can do in college football. I want the players to get paid. I just want it to be more regulated, because how do you plan for the future when you don't even know 3 months from now that kid's even going to be here, how committed he is to the program? I may be a Dallas Cowboy fan, but if the San Francisco 49ers said, hey, Tate Cast, we want you to support the 49ers every game, and we're going to give you $4 million a year to do that. Deuces. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jerry, but I got to go to the 49ers. You am I right?
Yeah.
If you're a staunch, you go to University of Georgia or Georgia University, I always get that mixed up, and you're a Georgia Bulldog. But if all of a sudden the University of Alabama or Ole Miss comes in and says, hey, we're going to sponsor the Andrew Tate Show for $5 million, and we want Faith to endure wear nothing but University of Alabama gear. Let me tell you something.
That's
people,
where
y'all
I draw
can put
the
y'all,
line.
Y'all can put y'all's resume in, because Faith would be cut loose.
That's when I would call up Georgia and let them know what's going on.
Listen,
I can't do that.
It'd be a little hug, a little pat on the shoulder, and then a push out the door.
I can't do that. I was born to be a bulldog. I can't do that.
Whatever. I hit you with that hug and that peace, and you'd be gone.
Yeah.
I'd give a call to your mom and your dad and be like, listen, we're gonna let Faith go, but we're gonna bring the rest of the family in.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if my dad would agree to that either. He's a big Georgia fan as well.
Listen, ask your dad if Alabama offered $4 or $5 million for an endorsement.
It doesn't feel right.
Listen, I'm gonna let you know. Not only would I wear I would slap the Georgia Bulldog as well.
Not Ugga.
Ugga would catch an elbow.
No.
We're talking $4 or $5 million for that's just one endorsement. Listen.
I do understand. I understand what you're saying, though. Yes, but
sorry,
could never
folks.
do that.
Peter,
could never do that
don't come
to my
after me
dogs.
because I said I would drop an elbow on a mascot. I am thousands of miles away. That dog is safe from me. Unless Alabama, wink, wink, hit me with that endorsement.
Jeez. I understand what you're saying, though. Yes,
It'd be
I get
Crimson
that.
Tide all day. I have the hat on.
No.
I'd have a hoodie with that on. The logo here.
No.
Crimson Tide glasses.
Nope.
I'd be tricked out like Dion, but way worse with all Alabama gear, depending on how much that endorsement is.
The words "Roll Tide" make me want to vomit.
Oh, listen. I will roll Tide, roll cigarettes, roll whatever you want to roll. Gotta give me that proper endorsement deal. We'll roll for the right money. We'll roll Faith on out of here too, since she's not gonna wear the gear. You know I couldn't get rid of you, Faith.
I'll just call Georgia and let them know. They probably will offer. Maybe they'll offer more money, and then we can.
I take all that Alabama gear, throw it in the trash, and be like, throwing on my Georgia gear.
Go Dogs, baby.
It was all a joke. I always loved the Dogs first anyway. It all comes down to that endorsement dollars.
No,
right.
I understand though, like that kind of feels like a stab in the back, you know. Saban's trying to work hard and build up these players and get them ready for, you know, the NFL, and then they're just kind of like, well, somebody else offered me more money and I know we just lost and sorry for that, but I'm gonna head on out and go somewhere else.
All around the country.
Mm-hmm.
All around the country. One coach, I can't remember what school it was, you know, after the game, they're like, Coach, I won't be coming back. I'm transferring.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You start for you're wait a minute. Aren't you getting enough playing time? You're starting.
Mm-hmm.
So and so offered me more money, you know, and it's just like one of those things where people are leaving. It's only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
You know, as the college football playoffs is gonna start bringing in more money. Going with the college football playoffs, I think they're making a mistake on one thing when they start thinking about this 14 or 16 team playoff. I don't like that the first round games are played on campus. I think they should make each of the game, first round, second round, all the way through, a different bowl game, because who wants to watch, you know, the Liberty Mutual, you know, dirt bowl, you know what I mean, between Wichita State and the Cleveland St. Mary's underdogs? Who gonna watch that game when the college football playoffs? Everyone's gonna be gearing up for the college football playoffs. These bowl games are not gonna matter. By making the first round bowl games as well, you could some of these traditional bowls that we're used to seeing could stick around. I don't care about the Pop-Tart Bowl and some of these weird ones, but you know, some of the old traditional bowls, I would love to see them survive. Some of the, you know, like
Peach Bowl,
the Alamo Bowl. The major bowls are going to be around, but like the Alamo Bowl and those guys, they deserve to still be around, because I think they're going to crash and burn. Who's going to, if there's a 16-team playoff, who's going to see Miami of Ohio versus Wichita State? I just made that game up, guys, but yes. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these bowl games are going to struggle. Anyway, I know we went a little over here, so I'll let you do your thing. Also, Mom and Dad, I am not getting rid of Faith. But that endorsement come in.
My mom might support the endorsement. She's a Georgia Tech fan, so.
That's my girl. We don't. If Georgia Tech want to sponsor us, Mom, we're in.
Okay, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be discussing the Washington Commanders could trade up for Caleb Williams. So you guys stick around.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing Nick Saban and talking about the behind the scenes of his decision to retire. And now we're going to be discussing the Washington Commanders could trade up for Caleb Williams. But before we do that, I just wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show. We get a number of questions from the viewers that come in during the show. So to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is GSMC Podcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show.
Right.
All right.
What do you have? What do you have for me, Miss Faith?
Okay, so Skip Bayless suggests Washington Commanders could trade up for Caleb Williams. For over a year now, Caleb Williams has been widely touted as the prospective number 1 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Now, it appears that the Chicago Bears are prepared to make him that number 1 overall pick. However, the Washington Commanders could be eyeing a major blockbuster trade up for the USC standout. With a significant portion of NFL teams currently seeking quarterback upgrades, the anticipation surrounding this draft class is palpable. Despite the abundance of talents available at the position, the consensus remains steadfast. Williams is poised to claim the top spot. Yet, amidst this speculation, the focus shifts to the Chicago Bears and their pivotal decision regarding the first pick. Will they opt to retain Justin Fields as their quarterback, potentially trading the pick, or will they select Williams? So.
Okay. If I was the Chicago Bears, I'd be hopping around like I'm playing hopscotch. The Bears have the first pick and the 9th pick. The Bears need more than just Caleb Williams. They need a lot. They need offensive weapons. They need everything. And yes, they have the number 1 pick, and everyone looks at it as, you have to get a quarterback. Well, this is one of those situations where I feel like you can have your cake, your ice cream, whipped cream, and eat it too. If I'm the Bears, needing so many weapons, needing so much, would I trade to the Commanders? You're going from the first pick to the 2nd pick. That is a no-brainer. Yes, I would. I would even trade when I made that trade. I tried to do that early enough so I could trade this. Trade back even again. I trade that 2nd pick for more players. I'd trade their 9th pick for more players. They are so far away from contending for a Super Bowl, and even one quarterback is not going to do it for them. Multiple all-star players is what you're going to need. What you need is to go out and strengthen the offensive line, strengthening the wide receiving corps, strengthening the running game, strengthening the defense, and you don't have enough picks. So by going back, trading back a couple of times in the draft, I think that is truly the smart move. Long term, if you want to turn around the Chicago Bears, they have a unique situation where to trade with the Commanders. If that's possible, trade with the Commanders, they should do it. There's going to be a lot of people, if they did trade with the Commanders, are you willing to trade and go back even further? There's going to be a number of teams, even that 8th pick. You can still end up late in this draft and still draft a quarterback later in the 1st round, early 2nd round. It's that many really great quarterbacks. And there's very little gap between the number 8 quarterback and the number 2 quarterback. Caleb Williams is the one who's probably the highest rated of them all. But for what you could get, you could easily end up with, might I say, 3, 4, 5, 6 players, 7 players. If you started trading back, early round players, by trading that number 1 pick and keep trading back, you could get your quarterback of the future and your weapons and change this franchise around like that. That's what I would do. I don't understand why that is not even being talked about. It's pretty much what's been talked about is, do we keep Justin Fields or do we use the pick? Pretty much everyone's been like, oh, use that first pick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need more than that. Trade back, get those weapons. The Bears are not a great team, and they're missing talent. They are lacking talent on that team. Do you see what I mean by that? Teams, you could trade that first pick, get 2 or 3 first-round picks this year and next year, some second-round picks for this year and next year. That 8th pick the 9th pick, you get some first rounds for those who multiple first rounds. Now, by just trading back out of this, you walk away with 6, 7 first-round picks, 6, 7 second-round picks. That's how you change a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting there and, what is it gonna do for you when you have no weapons? A quarterback is only as good as their weapons. You don't want to have to sit there. You don't want a situation where you've drafted a quarterback and you've stunned his growth and his abilities strictly because there's a lack of talent around him, when you can just trade back, still get your quarterback of the future, and so much more. That's just kind of the way I see it. I just don't understand why no one, and not that many other people, see it that way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if your team's not solid before that, adding a new quarterback isn't really going to change that. So I agree that they need to do something else other than just getting a new quarterback.
Yeah, you have to. If they have a unique situation.
Mm-hmm.
They have the first overall pick, which is incredibly valuable. Teams will give up a lot for it. Guess what? You need a lot. You have that eighth pick. There are a lot of teams that are willing to give up a lot. Now, this year, you're loading up with weapons this year. You're loading up with picks and weapons next year. You're literally 2 drafts away from back to contending again. I don't understand why people aren't considering this. Now, Caleb Williams, and let's switch this over to the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that the Commanders are going to be an up-and-coming team. Do not be surprised if the Commanders aren't contending for the NFC East this year. I worry, as a Cowboy fan, I fear the Commanders more than I fear the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles, after their big slide, but I look at Commanders, they got cap space, they're a young team, they're no longer a dumpster fire organization. They have new ownership, which they've brought in some of the best, smartest minds, just changing things around. I truly love what they're doing. I do not want to see the Commanders get strong, because that's kind of with my Cowboys. Those are sometimes easier wins. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's going to be an easy win in the NFC East this year. I could totally see them making headway. Then you mix in the fact that this organization has upgraded as in management. They're upgrading in coaching. They're upgrading at quarterback. Even if they stay where they're at, they're going to end up with a really good quarterback. But if they get Caleb Williams is that guy. Caleb is that game-changing quarterback for an organization like the Commanders, who they've already started making a lot of the moves. They have a lot of talent. So, I could see why they would do it, and I could see them giving up a lot to get it. With the new owner, they want to make a big splash. When owners come in, brand new ownership groups come in, they want to put their mark on a franchise. and show, hey, I'm in town. And the best way to do it would be to go up and get Caleb Williams. I am not the biggest, I sent you this article, and I'm not the biggest, Skip Bayless fan as far as following what Skip Bayless has to say. Skip has been is very biased on a lot of things. But they're talking in this article, they're talking about Skip and what he thinks. But I agree with him that it's a really good move. It would not shock me, And then when I look at, man, speaking of Skip, and I'm changing the subject just a little bit, that first take show, not first take, but Undisputed show, it is just not the same without Shannon Sharp. Just changing that a little bit because, that's where Skip is famous for being on Undisputed. And since losing Shannon Sharp, his ratings have just plummeted. He's not even the biggest show on his network anymore. And, sometimes you can make a lot of crazy takes for a very long time, but eventually you're going to lose the talent. And I just see that show is struggling bad. Unlike us, we're on that uptick. I know we have our future Hall of Famer and Faith over here. I didn't say in what. I just said you're going to be a future Hall of Famer somewhere, somehow. Anyway, I was just joking around and just talking about, I do think Skip is onto something by thinking that the Commanders are going to move up. It's the right move to they're hungry for a franchise quarterback, and that's the biggest one of them all in this draft.
Well, I would love to hear, I guess, your prediction for all of this. What do you think is going to happen?
Will happen?
Yeah.
The Bears are going to do the Bearsiest thing of all. They're going to keep the pick. They're going to draft Caleb Williams. They're going to trade Justin Fields. And unless Marvin Harrison Jr. slides to number 8. Now, that's a situation that would be interesting. If they were able to take Caleb Williams and somehow Marvin Harrison Jr. slid to number 8 and they took Marvin Harrison Jr., that's a combo where you've gotten your quarterback and your weapon too, but many people do not see Marvin Harrison Jr. sliding that far. In my opinion, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the second best player in this draft. Caleb was 1, Marvin Harrison Jr. is 2. But a lot of teams tend to jockey for that quarterback position. And that's why he could slide. But I'd be shocked if he slid to 8. Because if you could get Caleb Williams and a dynamic wide receiver like that, those are cornerstone pieces. The odds of that happening, though, are incredibly slim. But that's my prediction there. I don't think they should do this, but they're going to take Caleb. They're going to trade Justin Fields away, probably to somewhere. Maybe you're talking about maybe the Steelers, Atlanta, somewhere like that. The New England Patriots, somewhere where they're desperate for a quarterback. Denver Broncos, I think they're going to go and trade away Justin Fields and just keep on and move with Caleb Williams.
With that, what do you think the Commanders will do if Caleb Williams is taken first from?
Oh no, if he's taken first, they're taking. No matter what, they're taking a quarterback. I am not quite sure what quarterback they're taking. The guy I like in this draft, who I think is still in the draft, is J.J. McCarthy. And I see him sliding a little later I think he'll still be a first round pick, but I think he'll be later in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure who they're going to pick but the Commanders are definitely they're not going in there with Howell next year. They're going to draft a quarterback. They want to get that quarterback of the future. The ownership, they want that splashy pick. If they can't get the first pick, the second pick is going to be a quarterback, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be discussing a judge who throws out a woman's $820,000 insurance claim after photo shows her throwing a tree. So, stick around.
What?
Just wait.
Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead.
We'll be back, guys.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing the Washington Commanders could trade up for Caleb Williams, and now we're going to be talking about a judge who throws out a woman's $820,000 insurance claim after photos shows her throwing a tree.
Okay, wait. Who is she? Paul Bunyan? What is she like? How big is this woman? She throwing a tree?
It's like a Christmas tree. It was a decent-sized Christmas tree, though.
I'm like, she threw a tree.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you got my attention.
I'll show our audience the photo.
I'm like, I haven't
photographic
seen this.
Evidence.
I'm like, that woman been eating ham hocks or something. She's not eating no top ramen noodles and she's tossing trees.
Alrighty. So, an Irish woman lost an insurance claim for more than $800,000 after a photo surfaced that showed her launching a Christmas tree during a competition. The Irish Independent reported that Camilla Grabska, 36, filed a $820,000 claim with her insurance company, RSA Insurance, after claiming a 2017 car accident left her with debilitating pain and repeatedly bedridden. Gradsta told Ireland's High Court that she was left with constant pain in her back, neck, and thoracic spine and was unable to lift groceries, do chores, or play with her two children following the February 3rd, 2017 rear-end crash, the Irish Independent reported. According to the Telegraph, following the rear-end accident, Grabska claimed she was unable to work for 5 years. Grabska quit her job following the accident and went on disability. She told the court that around $542,000 of her claim was for past and future lost wages. However, Grabska wins a tree throwing competition.
She on that HGH. Girl is strong.
Yeah. However, the court dismissed her case after they were presented with a photo from January in 2018 of Grabsta throwing a spruce tree and winning a Christmas tree throwing contest. The photo was taken while Grabsta was going through her hearing. The mother of two claimed that even though she looked happy in the photo, she was still suffering from injuries and still experiencing pain.
No, I'm sorry. You lost your case. You're just you can't be throwing a Buick across the street think you going, and they got you cold.
Yeah.
If you didn't pick up a Toyota Corolla and tossed it 3 blocks, and you're like, oh, but I did it, but my back hurt the whole time.
Oh gosh. However, Judge Garmel Stewart said the photo, which had been published in a national newspaper, led her to conclude that Gravsta's claim was entirely exaggerated. It's a very large natural Christmas tree, and it's being thrown by her in a very agile movement. I'm afraid I cannot but conclude the claims were entirely exaggerated. On that basis, I propose to dismiss the case. Gravsta, however, denied accusations that she faked her injuries and instead told the court that her intention was to just lead a normal life.
I got a physical therapist, and he has unconventional therapeutic methods. And he's trying to get me to build my core up. So he wants me to throw trees as a way to strengthen my core, so it straightens out my back.
Physical therapy.
What
Orders
you saw
by the doctor.
What you saw, Your Honor, was Dr. Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he had me throwing Buicks to straighten out. What we were hoping to do was that toss. It would just straighten the whole spine up. That's what we were working on. And so you don't have everything in context. That's the reason why I was throwing these trees 600 yards.
Yeah. Additional evidence was also submitted to the court, including a video of Gravsta training her dog for over an hour last year. So Stewart concluded that Gravsta's actions were inconsistent with her injuries.
Just the graph. Let's talk Gravsta. You got to keep your eye on the prize.
Right? If you're gonna say that your back hurts so bad that you can't work for 5 years, and you're claiming over $800,000, you can't go. Why would you even think that it would be a good idea to attend this event?
Listen,
first of all,
they talk about these method actors. They become the character they're playing, sometimes for months or a year at a time, as they have to be in character to all this whole time to be. Well, girl, you had $800,000 on the line.
Right.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't listen. You should have been in method. You got to keep your eye on the prize.
That's like me, like trying to skip class, and I'll tell my professor that I'm sick, like throwing up sick. But if they know that I'm on the show, they're gonna see that I'm fine, and they're gonna be like, "You're lying to me right now. You're not sick."
Okay, I got 2 of the greatest stories of all time on people getting caught in lies.
Okay.
I know Grafta. She's done. She's just, like I said, canceled Christmas on her.
Over and done. Literally.
She didn't toss the Ford Festiva down the street. She's not getting none of that money.
Literally, yeah.
Okay. The first one was many years ago. I was working at this company, and we were all in the management meeting, and the VP at the time was like, we're gonna talk. This one guy, he's been working really hard, and he's doing this and that, and so we're gonna have him go first. And he's like, oh yeah, I've already been out with my team. We had a meeting over here. I'm on my way to my next meeting here. And he's talking about all the things that he's been doing. He's been up working all day, and he's on his way right now to another meeting. As he said it, his alarm started going off. His alarm starts going off in the background. And everyone's like, and
are you still at home right now?
And no, they're like, are you still in bed? And he was like, yes. And I'm like, no, you got to hold that lie. Even though your alarm going off. Listen, I set an alarm in my car. Something.
I didn't even know cars did that.
Yeah. It's that new Tesla 972. You got a built-in old school alarm clock in it.
Yeah.
So yes, he got busted. The alarm went off, but this one, that's just the lead in, the best one I have ever seen or heard about in my life. A really good friend of mine, he had decided that he had been looking for work. So he called off, oh, I'm really sick. I'm really sick. I can't make this the meeting. I'm off today. I am so sick. And at the time, the VP, he was in Texas. Well, I almost said the guy's name. The other guy didn't know it. Know how they found out? Because my buddy, he got on and he sat down in his first class flight. He got his book. And who was sitting next to him? Was the VP. And I've had the conversation with both of them. And he's like, apparently you're not that sick then, huh? And he had to complain that he had flown down to Houston for an interview.
Oh my gosh.
They were side by side. They were on the same flight. They were both flying back. They were both flying back to Cleveland, and they were side by side. They were next to each other on the same first class category. I swear to you, on my life, that is a true story. They were on the same flight.
See,
He
I've
was
never.
supposed to be in Ohio. He's sick, and he's in Texas, and his boss is getting on the same flight that he said he couldn't even get out of bed for.
Yeah, I've never been.
That's a true story.
I've never been caught in a lie, like lying to work. Because, I mean, who hasn't lied to their job saying they're sick and they're not really sick? I mean, everybody does it. I've never gotten caught doing that, but I remember, this was like a couple months back, one of my friends that I work with was having like this big birthday party. And, I said that I was going to go make an appearance. It was on a Monday, so I was like, I have to get up really early the next day, so I'm just going to pop by, tell you happy birthday, and then probably go home. Well, my boyfriend and I went and ate dinner beforehand, and we ate so much food. Like, so much food that him and I, like, needed to drive home immediately and just lay in bed. Like, we were in a food coma, basically.
Okay.
And my friend, she was visiting one of the other girls that I work with who lives in the same apartment complex that my boyfriend does. And we were driving up to our building, and there's like 5 of my coworkers just standing outside. And I was going to text like 20 minutes after we got home, I was going to text and be like, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so sick. Like, I can't come. I'm so sorry. And then
Wow.
get
Oh,
caught,
I thought you'd.
and they're like standing there waving and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
When you get caught in that kind of a lie,
It's awful.
I mean, you try to hit that invisible button, but it won't work.
Literally, yeah.
You keep hoping that there's an invisible button right here. You start pushing
Yeah.
for it, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh,
She wasn't mad. I was honest with her, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Me and my boyfriend went and ate at Chili's, and we ate a lot of food, and we just had to go lay down. We couldn't do birthday party. I'm so sorry.
You must wait. You went to Chili's and skipped her
Yeah.
birthday. What kind of friend are you?
We're not like close friends,
That is hilarious.
We work
Yeah.
together and sometimes hang out outside of work. It's that
Well,
kind of
by the
friend.
way, you do realize this is a national show that
Yeah, I
gets
know.
out. Okay, making sure, because right now Faith is like, if she didn't know we weren't friends, she knows now.
No, I'm not saying we're not friends. That's not what I said. That is not what I said. I said we're friends, but we're not like super close friends, is what I was saying.
I'm sorry, I'm getting messy over here. I apologize.
You're
I'm
putting
not
words in my
trying-
mouth that I did not say. We are friends. We're just not like BFFs or anything. you can
So
have.
you can't stand. You saying you can't stand her then, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Stop! You're gonna get me in trouble. That's not what I'm saying.
Becky, she hates you.
No, you have like different levels of friendships. Like you have your best friend, and then it kind of just goes down the ladder after that. You got acquaintances. You got acquaintances here, and then you got your best friend right here, and then.
Wait. On that scale, where's the one I'd rather go to Applebee's than her birthday?
It was not that I'd rather go to. No, we were planning.
I'm joking, Faith. I am totally joking.
We were planning to eat before the party and then go because I really wanted Chili's that night. But then we ate so much food, it was like
sorry.
I can't.
Chili's. I apologize on Chili's.
She's probably somewhere in the middle from like. That scale.
You just changing this up because you just thought about like, man, this is going out to everybody.
No, I'm not.
She hates you. I'm telling you.
I don't. Stop. Girls are different than guys, Tate. I'm gonna get in trouble.
You know what? Oh my God, you are so right. Girls are so different than guys. Guys will just think it's funny. Girls will not.
Well, I don't know if she'll think it's funny or not. So shut up.
All right. We're gonna scrap this whole scene. We're gonna move on to the next segment before there's a hit out on Faith.
Yeah, before you get me in trouble.
Hey, this show may be just broadcast live as you're now in Portugal because you're on the run.
Yeah, I'm not where I am right now. I'm actually 5,000 miles away from where I actually live.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that.
To, bring it back, full circle, if you're trying to get some money from your insurance claim and you're saying your back hurts, don't go to a Christmas tree throwing contest and win it. And win it. That's the thing. And win it.
Yeah, you know what? At least come in next to last place. You don't got to, you know what I mean? Like, listen, I would have won this. My back was right. I would have won this sucker. But you can't be the reigning and defending Buick throwing champion. Over here. And you got to be. I'm telling you, I don't do these false claims. But nobody catching me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't even answer the door. Nope. I can't do it. I'm blind. It's your back, Tate. It's your back. I'm sorry. I don't want to take any chances. I can't even see.
Or get like a cane and shuffle.
It's a back injury, but I got a seeing eye dog and everything.
Put on like one of those hunchback costumes and then put your regular clothes over it.
I'm selling the story. I'm a method actor on this one.
Yeah.
If I got me a big old check coming. That check, they were saying that they were in court for a while, so that was like 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, you gotta sell the story until the check came in.
Exactly.
Then what I tell you. You take part of that check, you put it in the Cayman somewhere. You take another part, you put it over here, you put a little bit over there. Just in case they catch you throwing a Buick and they want their money back, some of it they can't touch.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss our oddities of the day. So stick around. I guess put money in a Cayman's bank account while you're at it. See you in a second. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing a judge who throws out a woman's more than $800,000 insurance claim after photos show her throwing a tree, and now we're going to dive into our oddities of the day.
Okay, in between episodes, in between commercials, so I space like, you're gonna get me in trouble.
You are.
I am very
I apologize for not going to her party.
I'm the one that put face out there. I made all this up.
I also was tired. I was very tired too, and then put a bunch of carbs inside of you. Yeah, that makes it even worse.
See, here's the thing. You just gotta sell the lie. You can't be over-explaining. I ate too many carbs.
That's what happened, though.
I had a Jello pudding pop and everything else. No,
but that's what happened. That is my story. I ate too much and couldn't go.
We went to Applebee's, Chipotle, and
that is what happened. And I told her that. I was like, I'm so sorry. I ate too much food. That's why I didn't come.
Listen, you got to say, hold it live. Like, listen. Yes, we did. We went to Chili's, but I got food poisoning, and that's why. I'm an honest person, Tate. Oh, this is too much.
Okay, so for our oddity of the day, just hold on for a second before you say anything. All right.
All right.
So. Balls Out Bowling event invites bowlers to roll in.
I'm already messing up. What'd you call it?
Balls Out Bowling.
Okay, I did hear this correctly. I apologize.
Yeah.
Woo. Woo-saw.
Okay.
Woo-saw.
All right. Balls Out Bowling invites bowlers to roll in the nude.
Oh, hell no. Oh, sorry.
A Pennsylvania naturalism group announced bowlers will be able to roll in the nude at its upcoming Balls Out Bowling event. The Pittsburgh area naturalist group announced it has rented out Crafton Ingram's Lanes in Pittsburgh for its Bowling in the Buff event on April 28th. Nudity is required, with the exception that women can wear bottoms, the group said on the event page. Please bring a towel and a bag for your belongings. Anyone who wants to shed their clothes for a night of Balls Out Bowling needs to purchase a $25 ticket in advance. Balls Out Bowling is the ultimate bowling experience for anyone who loves to have fun and show off their skills in the buff, the group said. The event is open to bowling fans of all skill levels who are over the age of 18. The group stressed that safety and privacy will be paramount during the event, with no photography or video recordings allowed.
So they're rocking out with their bowling pins out. Yeah. Is that what you're telling me?
Basically, yeah.
I'm going.
You're going?
We're listen, we are broadcasting live from this
No,
event.
It says no photography or videos allowed.
It's gonna be the audio podcast, okay, Faith?
I'm not going. Are you crazy? It says nudity is required. You know, Tate, what? You're a great person, you're a great boss, but I don't need to know you in that way.
Listen. Nothing says bonding more than seeing old Tate bending over, rolling, and getting that 7-pin.
No. No.
Taking a 7-10 split down.
No.
It was like,
absolutely not.
Think about these people bending over and throwing the ball. Not only are people bending over, but you got to strain. You're flexing muscle. Nobody should be bowling naked. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm joking. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to this event.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you, changing the subject a little bit, then going back to this. When I first moved to California, and I'm like, ooh, they got nude beaches. I'm like, I got to see this. I can't. You know, you first moved to California, you're like, man, you're pitching Baywatch. So I find out I'm up in San Francisco where I lived at the time, and it's like, oh, such and such beach. I'm like, I'm going. Let's go. And it was all grannies. It was all everybody that you never wanted to see naked were naked that day. Same with this bowling event. How it ain't gonna be super models, you know what I mean? And chiseled abs. It's gonna be gut and butt city. I am out on this one. Rocking out with your bowling pins out. Nope. That is not one that I am going to. What do you think of this?
My question is, where did they get this idea? Who decided, yeah, all us nudists, let's, go bowling naked? Also, I would hate to be an employee at that bowling alley.
No.
I would quit. Okay. If my boss told me, hey, we're doing a nudist event, I'd be like, I'll go down to the other bowling alley down the street.
They pay a lot of money. These organizations, they kick out the cheddar. And those the nude cruises and
there's nude cruises?
Yeah, and know what they do? They rent the whole ship. Only nude people. The whole top to bottom. The Lido deck is full with nothing but nude grannies. Just walking around, tripping over things that are hanging down too low. It is never I'm gonna keep it real, Faith. It's never the young. It's not even the middle age. It's always the
because you're comfortable in your own skin at that point in your life, so you're just like, why not?
you gotta shift gears into that I don't give a damn mode. And see, nudity doesn't bother me as much as it used to because I live here now. You go on the beach, you stumble across nude people all the time nowadays. So I'm a little bit more used to it. No, Faith. Do not worry.
You're acclimated to naked people.
It is true. You do get acclimated during the summer. During the summer, you're going to the beach every weekend, sometimes during the week, and there's always at least a few nude people at the beach, and at least in Europe, you get the wide array. But these events in the U.S. where nudity isn't the normal thing or the norm, they're traditionally not the ones. They're not the events you want to see. And I think I said this on before. I had a buddy of mine. They wanted to rent his whole house, and they pay serious money to hey, you got this amazing house, you got this amazing yard. We want to rent it. Hey, you got this cruise ship. We want to have a nude cruise, and they'll buy every cabin on the ship and just roll. Oh, well, maybe not roll, ride. Look it up. You look up nude cruises. They have no people. I have never been on a nude cruise, nor do I plan on going on a nude cruise. So I'm sorry.
He just knows a lot about it.
I don't sleep. This is the reason why I know all this stuff is because I literally do only sleep 2 to 3 hours a night. So
oh my gosh, there's literally bare necessity cruises.
I told you. You thought I was joking, didn't you?
No, I didn't think you were joking, but they have their own website.
Wait. And you can see the difference between an organization that makes money, these bare necessity cruises, because they were able to hire a marketing director to come up with something kind of clean and nice. Bare necessity cruises where your dreams come true. Or it could be what do they call this bowling thing?
Balls out bowling.
Balls out bowling. that's old Derek over there coming up with the name. That's not. There ain't no marketing thought. There ain't nobody thought about this. It was just somebody like, oh, balls out bowling. Let's do that one. Bare Necessity Cruises. That's a marketing organization there.
I would need to lose a little bit more weight before I'd be like, yeah, I'll go on a nude cruise or something like that.
Wait, no, you don't. Because you're gonna be the only person.
I feel like
you're gonna be the only person under 65 on that whole damn cruise. I'm gonna let you know this right now. You're gonna be Miss Supermodel 2024 on that cruise because Grandpa is gonna notice faith. I'm gonna let you know. Don't think it's gonna be 6-pack abs and lats and big old muscle. No.
I just, nudity doesn't necessarily bother me either, but seeing it up close and personal, I don't know if I, because they just act like. Mm-hmm. They act like they're not naked. They just will walk up to you and start talking to you while their hams are out.
Their hams are out, ladies and gentlemen. Hams. Their ham and eggers are out.
Their fruit.
They go up there talking. They come and walk up and fake with the grape nuts out.
And with the banana and oranges. It's just.
Now, see, I have not had anyone. It's just one of those. Nah, see, I'm not. I don't do that. But I see it enough. Mm-hmm. And then I used to in San Francisco. We used to the Beta Breakers race. And I'm gonna keep it real. I went to the Bay Breakers every year to watch it. The nude people just be flying by. The whole the race. You have the serious runners. Then you have people that are not so serious. The casual people. Naked? And some people run it naked. And I learned as a veteran, you don't show up late to the Beta Breakers race because that's the people at the end. That's the slow, the old, and the out of shape. So if you go there late, you're gonna get Big Bertha and hefty Harold. But you go early, then you get the fit people that are running. They're running through okay. Mm-hmm. No. Well, it's sad that I know more about this than I should, Faith.
Running naked, just no. You would have to pay me a lot of money to run naked.
See, remember the last episode where the guy had the goggles on? The
wedding, yeah.
Yeah, the Apple. If you're gonna run a race naked, you need safety goggles on. Things start flying around next, you get you don't want to come back with black eyes. You need those safety goggles on.
Black eyes, what are you doing if you get a black eye?
You need the people that know, they know. You got to have some safety goggles on if you're running. Oh,
mercy.
You don't want something to hit you in the eye. I'm just going to let you know.
I picked this story, too.
You didn't think about this at all.
No, I didn't really. No, I was just like, oh, this is funny, interesting story. Nudists go bowling.
You. But think about bowling. You bend it over, you got to roll the ball down.
Yeah, you'd see it. That would be too much of a person that I would want to see.
Yeah, no, you don't want that. You don't want the running. Faith is still trying to figure out, people, why do you need safety goggles if you're running naked?
I understand. Believe me, I do.
See, Grandma definitely needs safety goggles on.
I get what you're putting down. Oh gosh. All right, guys.
And I think they're gonna have to, before the race, they got to be serving some Zima and some some White Claws too, before the race.
And some bacon.
Bacon's at the end.
Oh gosh. All right, guys. Well, with that lovely ending to the show.
Sorry about the visual aid.
We're going to close out. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show presented by GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.